Today at Eppy Shop, just wanted to take a second to talk about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Today at Eppy Shop, wonder if you had a second to talk about the extended warranty on your vehicle. Did any of us? What? Today at Eppy Shop, finally getting to work on this flip kit on the F100. Bow. Alright guys, here we are. I've been promising this moment here for a while. And first and foremost, much like the bed, this is going to be just a little bit more than just a flip kit, and it's going to take me way more than just a video or two to do this. So, if you think I have thousands of dollars and this is going to happen in just a matter of minutes, it's not going to happen that way. I have a handful of things I want to do to this thing. So just stay tuned and check this thing out with me. I think it's going to turn out to be a really cool project, so peep it. What we've got going on here is let's just start with my checklist, I guess. First, I need to get this fuel tank out of here because this is not being reused. We're going to use the beer keg fuel tank. It's going to go in the bed, and it's going to go up here. So this fuel tank and all of its fuel lines are gone. The exhaust for now is probably at least going to get cut at the end of the cherry bombs out, because I think it's going to sit lower than the exhaust runs, and I'm going to run a single side exit exhaust out of here when it's all said and done. So the rear section of the exhaust is getting trimmed out of the way. The shocks and the brackets on the frame are both going. They're going off the axle as well. This suspension setup is not being reused, at least the shock setup. I'm keeping leaf springs, but and obviously we're doing our flip kit, so we're going to take our axle from underneath of our leaf springs and put it on top. Next, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to run probably a 3-inch bar from side to side, and that'll have our shock brackets on it and everything. And I'm going to run probably either a load adjusting or a self-adjusting coilover shock on the rear of my axle then. This thing is going to get a mini spool, so it'll burn both tires. It's possibly going to get a disc brake conversion. They're about $300. And I think by the time I take the effort to rebuild and replace everything on here, I'm probably going to have about that in drum brakes, maybe. We'll see. Got some stuff I want to address on this bumper still. And the emergency brake. It's going. This side's already disconnected itself, and you can see it's shot. So this is just going. I'm probably not going to go back in. But, in all honesty, without further ado, we could probably just get to work. And I do mean work. This is a lot of work. I've got rivets and heavy-duty U-bolts and nuts I'm going to be cutting out. Straps, fuel lines, brake lines. They're going to have to be rebent, relocated. This is a lot of work. But the end product is going to be a lower, faster, safer vehicle. I mean, we're going to have better brakes. We're going to be lower. We're going to spin both tires when we do burnouts for fun factor. So, many benefits. So, let's get to work. Just real quick, guys, check this out. Obviously, got the fuel tank out. And this is a bit of a crude removal. Again, I'm not reusing anything, so I don't really care about any of it. It's got to be replaced, so why bother busting out the wrenches? But what I wanted to point out is I just cut the head off of this shock real quick, so I was just going to dump this whole unit. And then I jumped over here. Check this out. They're a completely different style shock. This has got a single vertical stud, and this one has got a horizontal stud. That is still a factory stamped in-place piece, and this is an aftermarket bolted in-place piece. So this must have been a problem before. We're gonna fix this while we're here, but both these sides are going. So I just wanted to point that out. What we're doing next is we're just cutting these U-bolts, and we're gonna slide this axle out of here. Alright guys, check it out, man. We got that axle out. You see, it wasn't really that big of a deal, and again, I'm not reusing anything, so I didn't really bother busting out any wrenches. I have already hit a hiccup, unfortunately. It's my fault. I never took the effort to actually decode this axle, you know, look at it and see what it actually was. I assumed it was an 8.8. It's actually a Dana 44. So the diameter tube bracket that I ordered and U-bolts are incorrect. But what I have going on right here is just my drive shaft representing the axle. As you can see, all we're going to be doing is just taking where our axle was underneath the leaf springs and putting it on top of the leaf springs. So in theory, we're going to retain our factory ride quality. However, I am going to cut this brace out and put my own brace in and do some adjustable coils back here. All that I've done otherwise is I have cut out the shock purchase on each side. Those are not being reused. Leaving my rear section of the exhaust in here as long as I can until I'm for sure that it has to go. I mean, I'm eventually, as you can see, gonna hit it. And speaking of hitting, what we have here is I kind of have this, I have this compressed with the jack here, and I'm taking consideration that the bed will also be sitting on this, so it's going to drop more. We're about, what, 2¼ inches of suspension travel before we hit frame, so I'll probably end up doing a 3-inch notch or more in this. But just going to give you that little update real quick. Next we got going on, going to get these leaf springs out of the way. I already got the passenger side, or driver's side, out of the way anyway, and I'm not 100% sure where the center mark on them is, so I have marked passenger, driver, front and rear, because I'm sure where that center point is going to be relevant to the way these leaf springs are positioned. So without further ado, let's get them out the way. guys, so that was the last of the cutting. As you saw, I just got the leaf springs out, and the second part that I cut was the bracket for the brake line, which is going to need to be relocated because it's literally right where my C-notch is going to need to be. I apologize. I'm sick again. I got a double dose of what I just had. I feel horrible, but I mean, I have enough people that owe you guys an episode, I feel like, so we out here working on this truck. So let's check out where we is and how it's gonna be. Check it. We got our leaf springs out, like I just said. You saw me get the shackle and everything. And basically, what's gonna go down is I'm just gonna get probably like a 6-inch piece of pipe, and this will actually be a perfect representation. It's just the old U-bolt, and that's basically how we're gonna cut our frame. It's just that U right there. So that'll just be, it'll go all the way through to the other side. So, all the way through. Tube cut in half, all the way through. You get? You understand? Maybe, maybe no. No one ever does. And then the rest of this will be boxed in. And so maybe if I get a better angle. So we'll have our little tube notch right here. And then basically from this point to this point-ish. Again, this is going bye-bye. I'm putting my own back in. But yeah, basically from that point to that point will be boxed and a C-notch. And then I've got energy suspension bushings for my leaf springs on the way. Next will be brakes, mini spool, completely cleaning that thing, painting it, probably do some pinstriping on it. And then, I mean, we gotta start cutting this frame. Got 2 little holes I need to patch, and that's kind of why I'm gonna take the box all the way forward, I think, is I have to cut this frame. None of these holes need to be here anymore, so, I mean, I don't want to cut a bunch of the frame out, but I am gonna, if I'm gonna cut it, I'm gonna put more metal in than I take out. At least that's the way I feel about it. But, yeah, so, C-notch, full box. This will be replaced with probably like some 3-inch round tubing. It'll get shock tabs, our flip kit, and it'll actually be way up here. And that's where we stand with it. And that is all I have for this episode. Again, I really don't feel good. I'm gonna go inside and shower. But real quick though, check this out. I managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 pistons out of the little flat here. I've got it soaking in some pretty aggressive chemicals now that I think will help bust the rest of them loose. But right over here, I have 4 intact flathead pistons. And to say the least, I'm very happy about that. My next concern actually now is those valves, because with the valves being stuck in place, the valves and lifters, I can't get the cam out. So much soaking, much influencing, much patience is what that's gonna take. But again, I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut this video short, go inside and get warm. Like I said, I don't feel good, but I made a lot of progress, and I usually just come out here and wrap up the last of this video. And hope everyone is having a wonderful day. And the flu and whatever seems to be going around, so I hope that you guys don't get it. I'm on round 2 of it, and everyone I know seems to have gotten it, except for my wife, who I'm pretty sure is superhuman. She doesn't get sick, she doesn't get poison ivy. She's superhuman or something. It's weird. It's weird not to get sick or poison ivy. Anyway, while you're here, don't forget to subscribe, like, share. Again, I really stress on the share. The more you guys share, the more it goes out to people that, you know, wouldn't normally see it, that, you know, I normally get to. When you guys share, it really helps out the channel. It really helps me grow. And, you know, again, you know, I'm infinitely grateful. I know I try to thank you guys every single time because the channel just continues to grow. I'm starting to get comments and everything. So thank you. Check us on Instagram at Eppy's Chop Shop, Facebook, Eppy's Chop Shop. And that is it. I post a lot, actually. I probably post more than I should, but I try to make sure I post every day about something on the gram, at least. So check it. Deuces, y'all.